Welcome. So tonight, actually, I need to give it. I need to start giving it a second because there's a delay, and like sometimes it like cuts off what I say at the beginning when I watch the replay. I'm like, oh, I started too soon. So now that I know it probably won't cut me off, hopefully, fingers crossed, we can start. So yeah. So hi everyone. I hope you're having a great night because I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be going live because I haven't done it in a while. And tonight we are playing with the new release from Catherine Pooler. And it's always a good night when we're playing with Catherine Pooler. So tonight we are using the new Wildflowers bundle. If you know me, you know that I absolutely love flowers. So I'm so excited to be playing with this collection tonight. I've already played with it a bunch. I am on the Catherine Pooler design team, so these products were sent to me free of charge, and I always want to be transparent, so you know that. But so far, I've made 2 cards with this little bundle here. I've made this one, which we did some really simple stamping, and we're going to be making, I think, a version of this tonight. And this card uses Catching Rays Ink, Gingerbread, and Lime Rookie, and then the cardstock is Glam, and I did a little ink blending. And then for the other card, it's a very similar color scheme, just slightly different, because I added Party Dress, and then it's Glam, Gingerbread, Lime Rookie, and then Catching Rays down here for the cardstock, and then as well as for the sentiment. So yeah, just kind of, they're not super similar. I mean, they both have a square element, same flowers, but I'd say they're pretty different. But we're going to be making something similar to this tonight because I really want to use this die again. And I just really like the layout on this. We're also, I think, probably going to try to do some like ombre type stamping. Because if you notice on this card, the edges of those florals are darker. And there's a way you can do it with a blending brush. There's a way you can do it without a blending brush. I'll probably do the latter because sometimes I can find it tedious going in with the blending brush and just tapping on that stamp like crazy. So I think we should get started. What I want to, so actually, let me go through the products really, really quick. So in the Wildflower bundle, it comes with 4 things. Everything is linked below as always. Those are affiliate links, so if you do choose to buy anything from Catherine Pooler and you use those links, I do get a small kickback, so thank you so much if you do. But if you don't, guess what? That's totally okay. Your viewership is always more than enough, and thank you for being here. So the Wildflower bundle comes with these 4 things, but the stamp and die set are separate. You can get them separate, or you can get it in the bundle. The other stuff you can only get in the bundle. But this is the Wildflower stamp and coordinating die set. The stamp hat comes with 2 wildflowers and then some smaller different flowers and ladybugs and a few sentiments. And I like the scripty font on them. And yeah, so that's the Wildflower stamp set. Also, I love on the die set. I always, since I get them ahead of time, the packaging isn't always made where it will be like, oh, Wildflower dies and the barcode. So I get handwritten labels. It's nice. It's nice. And then the 2 dies that come in the bundle, the standalone dies. This one is the Knots and Crosses nested dies. And it's these nice squares. So the larger one and then the second smallest one, they have the circles. And then the second largest one and the smallest ones have the little X design. And just to show you, that's the X design there. And this is the circle design. So the circle one cuts all the way through. The X one kind of does. Like, it technically does, but it looks more impressed, but it does cut all the way through. It's just like less noticeable. And then lastly, we have the Channel Stitch cover plate. And this is just a really nice and simple cover plate die. You just get the stitched lines, and I use this on this one as well. And as you can see, really simple, but it just adds a little touch to your projects. So that's always nice. Let's get started, okay? So, ooh, wait, okay, I may have messed up. Hi, Carol. Yeah, SBC Fest, that was today. I hope you all had a lot of fun if you went or watched. Okay, phew. I have 2 card fronts left, pre-cut. So I think I need to do that after the live, but we got 2. Unfortunately, though, these aren't on card bases because I don't have any card bases. So, you know, I might not be able to put it on a card base and make the final card. That will be sad, but we shall survive. So I'm going to take the Knots and Crosses nested dies here, and I'm going to use the second largest one. So it has the X's. That's what I used on this card, and we're going to be making a square card. So we're going to go again, because I like the size. Ooh, it's windy. Ooh. Well, I hope you don't lose power. And I hope that the wind isn't as bad as it's seems like the meteorologists are telling you. So if I can get these dyes out, that would also be great. Oh, ew, no. New England just went through that, and finally all of our snow has basically melted. So I'm very happy about that. We had 2 huge snowstorms that like back to back. So we're gonna come in here with the second largest nesting die. I've said this like 5 times. But we're gonna come in here, we're just gonna die cut. Sorry. We're gonna die cut it out just on some plain white cardstock, and then we'll do some stamping on it. I just like to die cut it first. You don't have to. I prefer to die cut it first, just so I know like exactly where everything gets placed. You can totally die cut it after the fact, but I don't want to like guess and like move it around and then like, oh, I go to die cut and it moved and shifted. So now it's just easier. Also, I'm currently testing the new Sizzix Big Shot. For video purposes, I'm still using my old one, but I do have the new like remodeled one out and I've been using it. So we'll see. I've been liking it so far, but I'll definitely have a video at some point on that. I just don't know when. Okay. But this Big Shot is going back on the floor because that's where it goes during lives and videos. My floor is just a storage space at this point. It's a storage space, and you know what? That is okay. Your floor, remember everyone, your floor is your bottom shelf. Think about it like that. That might be what a hoarder says. I don't know. Okay. You know what? Maybe I'm a hoarder. No, never. Okay, now we play the game. Okay. I was playing the game. Did I leave stamps in my Misties? I did in my big one, so we're using the small one today. So we're just going to make sure that's in the corner there. And it is. You know what? I'm going to use my stamp wheel because I don't trust myself. I feel like I'm going to forget to like push it back up in the corner, and my magnets are all broken, so I don't want to deal with that. Although I found that like my stamp wheel, the mat's almost like gotten marginally bigger and it like kind of bubbles up slightly. It's not a huge issue and it's like we're just fine. Hello, Marisha. Hi. So like it kind of like bubbles up, but I haven't had it like it affect the performance of it. So I don't think it's a huge issue. So I'm not really worried, at least yet. So like I said, this is kind of the card we're making, just different colors. So, and we'll probably use that cover plate die for the background too. So we'll be a little bit more different, but I want to do a similar layout. So we're just going to keep this like right here as I'm placing these flowers because, you know, there's no reason not to. I just think this card it's simple. I'm not denying it. It's simple, but it's effective. I think it's effective. I think it's nice. So we're going to we could switch up the placement though. We could do this one over here and then the other one up there. Michelle, you're kind of reading my mind. I wasn't going to do exactly orange, but you'll see in a second. I just want to make sure that has enough room because this one has like a cone that like protrudes up more. This one's like within the flower, if that makes sense. So we'll put this one like this and this one like that, I think. You know what? No, I'm going to do the... I'm just going to do it the original way. I think because like I know that layout works and then I'll have room for a sentiment. Or I know I'll have room for a sentiment. So let's just do that. Okay. I think that's probably good. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we are going to pick these up with the lid here. And then we're going to flip it. Flip it real good. Okay. And now I'm going to do Coral Cabana. So it's not quite orange. It's like in between. It's an orangey red. I don't know. No, I wouldn't call it an orangey red. I'm blanking on which color family it's in, and I don't have my color wheel right next to me, so I apologize. But it's a nice color regardless. Ooh, 40 to 50. Ooh, Carol, I feel y'all. Did you move to Antarctica? Are you in Carol, I'm sorry. So we're gonna go in with Coral Cabana, and like I said, I want to kind of get an ombre look. So the way I do that, and you can do it with a brush and go in with a darker color and like tap it on. But that's not my vice. My vice is going around the edges first, right? So that way you kind of just ink up the edges of the stamp. And that center does get inked a little bit, but not as much on this first stamping. So we're just going to come around and just get the edges. So we kind of do it at a tilt. And now we'll stamp this down one time. Obviously, I didn't get a lot of ink on here, so it's going to be very light this first time. And that's okay. That's what we want. And perfect. This is exactly what I wanted, because now we're going to go in and fully ink it up, and then we'll still have that darker shade because there's areas that obviously got a lot more ink than others. And also, I will go in after the fact with like anything that I didn't link, because all the products and most of the products, the new products are linked in the description. The older ones, however, are not. So like I didn't link ink colors because I decided like 5 minutes before what ink I was going to use. At least I decided ahead of time for once. That normally doesn't happen. Normally it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing it. Let me see. But I was prepared. I was prepared. I came in my craft room 20 minutes ahead of time instead of 2. Think about that. I deserve an award. And see, now we're getting that nice ombre effect. That center is definitely lighter than the edge of the petal. There we go, petals. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I do want to just do that one more time and darken up those edges again. So we'll just do this. It's honestly so easy. Michelle, that's for a different laugh. So remember, this one, we didn't actually stamp the center, so it was just darkening up the edges again. And I think one more stamp will get this looking, or one more inking up. I really also need to get refills. So like, I think there are colors I gravitate to more. I genuinely cannot tell you the last time I used Coral Cabana, but I'm using it today, and that's the important part. I think it's a really nice color. I stay in my like nice blues, purples, and greens. And there we go. Okay. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this on camera, but at the center, it's a little bit lighter, and then as we get out to the edge of the petals, it's darker. This one, it might be more visible. Right here is much lighter than the edges. Okay, yeah, you kind of can see it. It's not as pronounced on camera, unfortunately, but in real life, it just look a little bit more, because I'm looking on my MacBook, because I have that up next to me so I can read the chat easier, and, you know, you probably think I'm insane now. But I promise you, it is different. So, we can just put this back down. And then I'm just going to put the stamps off to the side for the time being. I'll clean them off after the live, because we don't need to slow down for cleaning. I know, I feel like half the time you think I'm crazy. The colors are like always wrong. Well, not always, but like sometimes it just doesn't look right. So now I think we should go in with the centers of the flowers. So we're gonna do that with gingerbread. It is, isn't it, Denise? Yeah, I really like it. I just, like I was saying, I gravitate towards my purples, my blues, and my greens. And orange. I do like orange. But this is kind of not orange adjacent, we'll call it. But I don't know. Like, I don't use Samba or Coral Cabana a lot. And I really only use my reds around Christmas, and I don't even use reds at Christmas that much. I much prefer greens at Christmas, so I like my cool tones. Okay, so we're just lining that up there, and then we'll come in with this one and line it up here too. Yeah, it's like the orangey kind of brick, kind of. Okay, and now we're gonna go in with my gingerbread ink pad, which this is a nice brown. So obviously you're not putting brown on cards too often, but it's a good brown for when you need it. I will say though, this ink pad is so juicy. I'm gonna do the same thing, at least on that bottom one, because I kind of messed it up on the top one, but just going in at the bottom first and getting a little bit more ink down there, just so we can kind of get a little bit of shading. And then we'll go in one more time, or maybe twice, I don't know. This one definitely twice. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it comes out. And then stamp. No, I don't think we need to do that again. I think that's good. And it will dry back lighter. It's a little darker right now because it's wet, but once it dries, it will turn out lighter. A little bit lighter. Yep, those are good colors. Icing on the Cake was the first Catherine Pooler ink pad I ever bought. I bought that, and then the black one, which name is escaping me at the moment. Wait, it's Midnight. So I bought Midnight and Gingerbread. Those were my first two Catherine Pooler inks. See, yeah, everyone just has different favorite colors, and mine happen to be cool tones, but that's totally okay. So once again, we're just gonna, I'll wipe it down a little this time. See, look, I'm cleaning. I'm cleaning, people, I'm cleaning. So now we're gonna go in with the stems. You're all about the sparkly, but not messy, Michelle. Isn't it, Marisha? I really like it. Thanks, Denise. I'm so happy you liked that. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of like stick the stems in between the petals. And that should be pretty good. I'm just trying to get it like high enough. But not too high, if that makes sense. Actually, I kind of want it tilted more. There we go. Do I want it like... Okay, we're calling this one good. And then this one will come in down here towards the bottom. We'll stick that right there. Perfect. And now we're just going to come in here and pick them up again. And then I'm going to go in with Lime Ricky for my petals. I didn't change this color. The only thing I changed was the actual color of the flower. I did Lime Ricky for the other two cards for the leaves, and I did Gingerbread for the stems. Or, not stems, centers. Centers. I definitely do need to get the Lime Ricky refill, though, because this is my most used green, and I unfortunately don't have the refill. So, it's slightly dead. Not horribly dead, but, like, I definitely need to refill it soon. I feel like now that we're adding the green, though, that Coral Cabana is, like, popping even more. So, I always love that when that happens. Yeah. I feel like this is looking really nice. Okay. See, look at me go. I'm picking colors outside of my comfort zone. Okay, one color outside of my comfort zone. And it's working nicely. We love when that happens. Bada bing, bada boom, we're done. We're done. Well, we're not done, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it will definitely pop more on the background. See, I don't know, what color do you want me to do the background as, though? Because I haven't decided that part. That's the funny thing. I don't know what color I'm going to do the background. But I do want to do a sentiment real quick. So, just like this card, how I have it up in the corner, we're going to do that again. So, let me pick a sentiment. We could do miss you. We could do so grateful. Or we could do thank you. Goldenrod or navy? I feel like I want to do thank you. Just because I think thank you... I feel like thank you cards get used more than miss you or so... Well, I mean, so grateful could be thank you. But I definitely need thank you cards. Because I need to... Ooh, since I'm almost done with high school, I'm going to need cards to give to my teachers at the end of the year. So I'm kind of just stocking up on them. Can't believe that's actually kind of crazy. Hi, Clara. Hello. just lining this sentiment up. I think that looks pretty good. And now, okay, question. Should we stamp the not Martini. I have Martini on my desk just because I didn't know if I was going to change the green, but I didn't. Should we do Coral Cabana or Lime Rookie for the sentiment? I'm leaning towards Lime Rookie. Or we could even do Gingerbread. Although I don't think I want a brown sentiment. So we're going to stick to Lime Rookie or Coral Cabana. Okay, Michelle says green. And while we're thinking about what color to do the sentiment, I need you guys to keep thinking about the background color because I don't know. I know Michelle said navy or goldenrod for the background. So, ooh, okay, it's a tie. Okay. You know what? On my other card, I did green as a sentiment. So, ooh, Denise says green. Oh. Guys, are we getting wicked vibes from this card? From these? I don't know. This isn't pink, so no. Okay, in my executive decision, am gonna go with, which one is it gonna be? Which one? Coral Cabana. Just because, like I said, on the last one, I did green as the sentiment. So I'm gonna do not green for the sentiment. I'm sorry, Michelle, that you didn't get what you want. Lo siento. I think that looks nice. I just do need to stamp, once again, I need to stamp this again. I'm sorry, Michelle. Thank you, Carol. And then let's just do this one more time. Also, I feel like I'm like starting to like Copic color less and less and less, which is probably not a bad thing, a good thing, because like my skills will slowly regress, but whatever. Okay, I think we're good there. We got the sentiment nice and dark. And I did it. It looks darker than the flowers, and it will dry slightly lighter, but I think that's nice to give it a little bit of like difference there. So, you know, a little bit more contrast. So it's time to do this background. And I'm not 100% sure still what color. So I was thinking Martini. That's why, in all honesty, I have the Martini out. I was thinking a Martini background, but I don't know if it's going to be too much green. Thank you so much, Clara. I don't know. Is it? Let me pull a Martini cardstock before we make any rash decisions. I haven't even opened this. Ooh. Okay. Wait. Okay. Wait. That looks nice. That looks like really good. I think we should do this. What do you guys think? I don't want to do a border though, because I don't want to have to like try to cut corners, and I want it to be all like rounded corners, so I don't think we're going to do a border. But I think this green will work nicely. Let me just see, because I also have like the multi-pack where it's like the sampler pack where there's like 2 sheets of some of the colors. Catching Rays, Melon Ice. Okay, Martini's in this one, so I don't need to open up the big pack of Martini yet. So let me grab a sheet of Martini. Okay, Carol agrees with the green for the background, so we're going with I cannot speak. We are going with what Carol says tonight. Sorry, Michelle. Michelle doesn't like me anymore, I don't think. Okay, perfect. So let me pull a sheet of this. Is this 1 sheet or 2? I think it's 1. Yeah, it's 1. So Martini can go away. Well, it's not going away, but the big pack of it can go away. And we have our sheet from our sampler pack. And Martini's not, I don't think, in the same family. Oh, I could be wrong. Oh my gosh, my Catherine Pooler color wheel is like not in my head right now. I don't know where my color wheel is. That's an issue. But like, Anyways, they're not... Yeah, I forget if they're in the same family or not. Regardless, they're similar greens. They might not be like in the exact same family. They're similar. So we can get away with using Melon Ice, or Martini. Why am I saying Melon Ice? I think Martini and Melon Ice are in one family, and then Grass Skirt, Grass Skirt, Lime Ricky, and then the darker one of Lime Ricky, which I can't even remember right now. No, Grass Skirt is the darker one. I'm making up colors as we go. But yeah, I think they're technically different color families, but it doesn't matter. Or they might not. They might be the same one. I'm just delirious at this point, guys. I did kind of chug a Celsius energy drink right before I went live. So that might not have been the best idea, but I needed caffeine. So we did it. We did it nonetheless. Okay. So now I'm going to take Martini, and we're going to do a little bit of ink blending around the edges, just because we did it on this one. So let's do it on this one. I just want to darken it up a little. I don't know where my green blending... Oh, no, it's right here. I'm blind. I'm blind. So we're going to get this nice and inked up in some Martini ink. We're just going to twist it around. And then I like to just come in the cap and tap a little bit off. That way I can swipe it back up and reuse it. No, I'm not doing an A2. I'm sorry. I should have said something. We're doing square. We're doing 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. So it's like A2, but square, because 4 1/4 is like the A2 measurement. So we'll fit in an A2 envelope. It will mail in an A2 envelope. But it's just slightly smaller than an A2 card. So we're just going to darken up these edges slightly. Once again, the camera isn't doing it justice, because it never does. But we are darkening it up, at least in real life. And I'll try to go a little bit darker than I normally would, just so you guys can like actually kind of see it to some extent. Okay, yeah. I don't know. You guys can't see it, I don't think. I'm sorry. I don't know why my lights like to play games, because they just are. They just are. I realized, so Monday, so the coming Monday, which I think is today's the 13th, so, 13th, so 14th, yeah, it's the 16th, was 6 years ago from when the very last day of in-person learning before COVID, which is kind of crazy to me now that, like, I've applied to college, I've gotten college acceptances back. So this is the Nuvo brush. Pretty good, just a regular, like, big brush like this. A bunch of companies have them. I think Altenew has one. They're pretty good. I like them. So now, you know what we can do? We can add some shimmers. So, Lime Ricky, this is not from this current release, but these are the new shimmers from Catherine Pooler. And they're, actually, hold on. Let me show you the rest. So, did I did. Okay, in this current release, we got 2 new shimmers. So we got Pixie Dust, which coordinates with Pixie Dust ink, and then Glitz, which coordinates with Glitz ink. So we have the purple, and we have the gold, or yellow. I haven't used these ones yet, unfortunately. I did use Lime Ricky a ton for the last release from Catherine Pooler. And then also, there are Enamel Dots that also came out, the new one, and the last release. We've been getting a bunch of Enamel Dots and a bunch of shimmers. If you don't know what a shimmer is, it's essentially just a mica watercolor. It's similar to a mica watercolor, but it perfectly matches the colors of your favorite inks from Catherine Pooler. So right now there's 5, and I'm excited to see more coming. So there's a little metal ball in here, so we just shake this up. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake. Okay. So now we can just open this up. And what I like to do is I like to squeeze out anything that's in the tube. And I don't use, or the pipette. And I don't use the pipette. What I'll do is I'll take a very little cheap watercolor brush. I don't even know if these are actually watercolor brushes. and then just tap it on. Yeah, shake it like a Polaroid picture. And then we just get a little splatter. It's nothing crazy. It's really not that messy either, because it's just so simple. Let's move this further away. Okay. So now we'll just put this on tightly. I did have a little spill with this before. So it wasn't because, like, it wasn't anything it was my fault because I didn't put the cover on. Then I hit it and then it spilled everywhere because, you know, you kind of need a cover for stuff not to spill. Just wise words of wisdom from Brennan. But then now we just have, it looks nothing crazy when you look straight on, but then you get that nice shimmer when you tilt it in the light. Because you have all that mica there now, which I think is always a nice touch. Especially for someone who's not a card maker, because I feel like they like it even more, because they're not expecting to see the handmade card shine quite like that. I do just want to hit this with my heat gun really quick, so if you don't want to hear it, just turn off your volume, mute me. You can mute me, it's okay. And then once it's done, the heat gun will go off camera. Okay, we are done there. So I love the shine from this. Okay, so now all we really have left to do is to place our little panel here onto the square. So, ooh, I ended up getting a little bit of sparkle on here. I did not intend for that to happen, but it's not the end of the world. It's fine. So I think we're just gonna glue it. I don't want to pop it up this time. I think we're just gonna glue. Also, speaking of school, the other day I was in my library during my study period, right? And I'm getting up to leave because the bell rang, and I always have a Celsius in my backpack. It's like in the water bottle slot on my backpack, because I have 2 water bottle slots, and my water bottle's on one side, my Celsius is in the other, and I have it at lunch. So I'm getting up, and I accidentally hit my backpack on the table. Well, lo and behold, Celsius cans are made very thinly, and the Celsius can is what ended up tapping the table. Not even on the corner. It just hit the table, and it punctured it, and it exploded all over said table. So I made a mess, not even from like being sneaky and trying to drink a Celsius in the library when I wasn't supposed to, from literally hitting it against the table, puncturing the can, and it's spraying out everywhere. So yeah, that was fun. Luckily the librarians know me, I volunteer, so they weren't that mad. But there we go, in like record time too. We did that in 33 minutes. Look at us go tonight. So here is the original version, and here's the one we just made. They're really similar in layout, but they're just a little bit different color, and then we added that shimmer in the background, which I always think is a nice touch. So thank you guys so much for stopping by tonight. All of the products I used, again, will be in the description, and I'm going to go and add all the ink colors right after. And if you do choose to buy anything through those links, it does help to support me because I do get a small commission. So yeah, but it's never expected for you to buy anything. Just happy you're here, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. So yeah, just put this right back, and we'll let me put all the cards I made with the collection next to it. So we did that one, and then we did this one. So yeah, I feel like this is a really fun stamp set. I'm really happy with it. Especially, it's quick because you don't have to color it. That's the nice part, when you don't have to color something and you can just be quick. But yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the live, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your night, and hopefully you get to get crafty. Or maybe not, but hopefully you do. And Carol, if you're still here, good luck with all the snow, and to anyone who's getting snow. So yeah, bye everyone, and happy crafting. Yes, I always do the head nod. It's important. I don't know why I do it, but I do it. Bye guys.